Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
You, finding life pretty dull, dreaming again of exotic places, wishing you were somewhere else? We offer you escape.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
Escape with us now to the year 100,080 and a world where beauty and terror live side by side, as H.G. Wells describes it in his immortal story, The Time Machine.
Dudley, you must be mad. A time machine.
Yes, my friend, a time machine.
This thing?
This very thing.
This contraption? This framework made of quartz and bronze and ivory, with its levers and its dials and its seat in the middle. This is the result of 3 years' hard work.
I promise you, fella, that on this machine a man can go wherever he likes in time. By working these levers, a man can choose his century, his year, his very day.
Oh, really, old man.
Time is only a kind of space. If we can move about in all the other dimensions of space, why not in time, too?
It's impossible. Out of the question.
Well, what of the journeys I've already taken on this little contraption?
I'm afraid you've been having a bad dream.
You mean I've developed into a liar? Very well. You shall have proof, my friend.
How?
Just climb on, fella. Sit in the seat beside me, face these ivory dials, and I'll take you for a little spin.
Well, you mean right now?
Right now.
Or just, in case this thing should take off like the Flying Red Horse, are there any,
Any preparations? No, fella, no. You won't need any luggage on this trip, not even a toothbrush. You'll be back here in my laboratory in less than a minute.
All right. I'm on. Now what?
Hold tight. It sways a good deal. I'd hate to lose you.
I can't be frightened, Dudley.
Then you're braver than I am. Tell me, what time is it?
It's just 12 noon.
Before we start, I want to adjust this control a bit.
Is everything shipshape?
Tell me, did you notice anything just then?
Only a noise, a humming noise, nothing else.
And what time is it?
You just asked me, old man. It's Well, that's odd.
What?
My watch says 11 o'clock. I could have sworn it was noon a moment ago. There must be something wrong with it.
It's only that I touched the lever to test it, and we've gone forward a full day. 23 hours, at any rate.
Yes, but Dudley...
Finished scoffing, fella?
Yes. Yes, I believe I have.
Then hold tight. This'll be the real article.
I'm ready, Dudley.
Good man. Well, say goodbye, fella.
He went off with a shattering jar, with the machine swaying under us. The walls of Dr. Dudley's laboratory suddenly fell away. Night was speeding after day like the flapping of a black wing. I saw the sun hopping across the sky, leaping swiftly across it every second, and every second marking a day. I saw the moon spinning through her quarters like a ball, from new to full, all in the twinkling of an eye. Trees grew and blossomed like puffs of smoke, and then passed away. All the while we were going faster. Now our pace was a year a second, so that second by second the white snow flashed across the world and was followed by the bright, brief spring. And still we went on, into the future.
How do you feel, Fowler?
Very weak, very dizzy.
Don't let go. Don't fall off.
Where are we? How far have we come?
We're in 100,050 and 60 and 70.
That's enough! Stop it, Dudley! I can't stand anymore! Stop it!
Fowler, you all right?
Yes, I believe so. No broken bones. What happened?
Not sure. Must have stopped too suddenly.
Where are we, Dudley?
Look around for yourself. A wide lawn and a beautiful, vast garden.
No, I meant geographically.
Just where we were when we started, where my laboratory stood 100,000 years ago.
And the year, Dudley? What is the year now?
100,080.
It seemed absolutely incredible. A dream, but a pleasant one, for the garden in which we found ourselves was beautiful and summery, with an unexpected perfume about it, almost like platine. At some distance, we could see a large and imposing building, and everything was quiet and peaceful, but almost too much so. And the sense of strangeness, of incredible strangeness, sent a shiver up my spine.
100,080. Fowler, do you want to go back?
Yes, I rather think I do. Let's go back. Dudley.
From over there, in the bushes.
It sounded human.
Come on.
Yeah. Hey, it's a child. Seems to be a very small girl.
There's been a beast here of some kind struggled with her. Look at the marks in her arms.
Now, my dear, you'll be all right now. You won't be harmed. Of course, you won't understand English.
Motioning us to go with her.
Yeah. What about the animal? Did you see it?
No, not a glimpse. Too fast for us.
Perhaps we'd better go back, Dudley. The girl seems to be all right now.
Leave her like this?
Yes, I've had enough.
Well, they haven't, old man. Because they're here. All around us.
They had crept up on soundless feet to surround us. The little people of this era. And the girl we'd saved was not a child, but a full-grown woman. Well, they all stood 4 feet high, dressed in simple tunics. Beautiful creatures, but terribly frail, with a plump, soft kind of frailty. They were like eerie figures in a dream, and all we could hear was the rustling of their clothes as they surged happily around us, their faces wreathed in smiles. Why, they're not savage at all. They're very loving and gentle little people.
Yes. There's something terribly wrong with them.
How do you mean?
Seem to have the minds of 5-year-olds.
Well, how do you expect them to be?
Far ahead of us, of course, incredibly ahead of us in knowledge and in science. Look at them. Children.
But they seem happy in this huge garden of theirs. Dudley, I've changed my mind. Let's stay. Maybe we shall enjoy spending a few days with our little friends. The little people led us home into their valley. They lived in colossal buildings, sleeping all together in one huge hall, eating in another, playing and frolicking together in the sunshine. And we lived with them for days in utter contentment. One afternoon, Dudley and I walked along the banks of the great river.
Little people all wear the same clothes, the same soft, hairless skin, same feminine roundness of limbs.
Yes. I wonder if it's because they're vegetarians.
They're vegetarians because they have to be. You haven't run across any horses or dogs, cattle of any kind, have you?
No, now that you mention it.
With good reason. All extinct by now. Just as the dinosaur is with us.
Dudley, there's something strange here. Something hidden away and silent here in the year 100,080.
Felt the same way. I've taken the precaution of removing the control levers of the time machine, putting a master padlock on the main switches.
Oh.
Don't much fancy the idea of someone riding away with it into another century and leaving us here for the rest of our lives.
Dudley, do you know where we are?
Yes, this is where we landed.
I thought so. I wasn't sure.
What did you ask?
What's happened to the machine?
What? But they've taken it away. They've stolen it.
This is where it was. It's right here.
Look, follow the tracks. Here where they've dragged it. Over here, come along. Down this path. Look, right there, the monument.
There's a brass doors in the base. Oh, they're locked.
The machine, it must be in there, inside. We must get it. Break down the door.
How can we?
Here, use the levers.
All right, let's try. No, it's no, it's no good, Dudley. They're solid. We'll never break through.
Never?
No.
Never?
We can't break through here.
Stay here all our lives. You may never go home again. We must open the machine.
No.
Time machine.
And now we return you to Escape.
We were caught in the year 100,080. The time machine was gone. The brass doors of the monument held. Our retreat was cut off, the thin line by which we could make our way back home, back to our own time and our own people, back to 1950. We had no way of communicating with the little people, of asking what they had done with the machine or how to get it back. There was nothing hostile in their attitude. They were more like simple, wandering children. Only one, the young woman Weena, whose life we had saved on our first day, had become really friendly. She went with us wherever we walked, brought us presents of garlands, of flowers, slept near us at night in the hall, and we in turn had taught her a few words of English. Now we redoubled our efforts, like men racing against a clock, so that we might speak to her and discover the secret of our immense loss. We were talking to her one night after the others had gone to sleep.
No, not these, Dudley. No.
How can you be so sure your people didn't steal the machine? Aren't there any thieves among them? Are they all perfect?
No, not so loud, Dudley. You'll wake them. Besides, she doesn't understand.
The thief must be sleeping somewhere in this hall. Weena, they take machine.
No, Dudley. No.
Who then? Who?
We are friends.
Yes.
We must have machine.
Yes, Dudley. Yes.
Who took machine? Other people, not yours?
Other?
What about those doors, Weena? Doors open.
No.
Weena, machine in there must open.
No, not open.
Oh, all right, my dear. Go to sleep, get some rest.
Yes, Dudley. Sleep.
What's to become of us, Fowler? Are we caught here in this century? We spend our lives with the little people and their secret.
We'll go back to the monument tomorrow. We'll find a way of breaking in. Good night, Dudley. Dudley.
Yes.
Did you just... There it was again.
What?
Something. On my face.
Huh?
Cold. Filthy to the touch. On my face and in my hair. It's cold as death. Dudley!
You're right. There's something in here with us.
Smells of the grave. What was it?
I don't know. But look at them. Look at the little people. They're all awake. It's as though they've been stampeded.
Let's get out of here. I want some fresh air. We went quickly through the hall and outside, away from the frantic rustling of the little people. The moon was full, just overhead, and it was close to dawning. There was a faint sound speeding close behind us, and we turned, our nerves ragged, our muscles tensed. But it was only Weena, coming swiftly to join us.
Dudley, I'm afraid.
And then there is
Dark.
something.
What do you mean, Weena? Dark? What?
Dark thing. Dark place. Night.
Why should they be afraid of the night, Dudley?
It's not the night alone. Dark place, that's our cue. But perhaps it's something underground.
It was another day. We had wandered into a lovely wooded place about a mile from the community. And suddenly Weena screamed.
Father!
We stopped short. A pair of glaring eyes were fixed upon us. As we stood there, petrified, the thing, a little ape-like figure, rushed across our path and disappeared in a clearing about 30 yards away. What was it?
I couldn't see it too well. It seemed to be a dull white with white hair on its head and down its back.
It looked like a small
It
ape.
was running on all fours, with its arms held very low.
Weena, what was it?
Morlocks. Morlocks.
Who are the Morlocks? What are they? Weena, tell me.
No.
Let's go over there and see where it disappeared. Come along, fella.
In the clearing, we found a round, well-like opening. Dudley and I leaned over and looked down a deep shaft. A small white creature was retreating down a ladder in the well, like a human spider, its large, bright eyes watching me as it went swiftly down. Then it disappeared in the shaft.
Fowler, did you see it? Like an ape.
Yes, but also like a man.
So there are two species of men in this world.
Yes.
The little people above the ground and this obscene thing, this bleached monster below.
That white look, common to animals that live in the dark. Like huge rats, like worms that are cold to the touch. I know because they've touched me.
Fowler, you can feel the air being sucked down into this shaft.
Yes.
The earth must be tunneled enormously here under our feet. These monsters must live in the tunnels.
I think we know now who stole our time machine.
Yes.
Then
we'll go down and have a look.
No, not go.
Why not,
go.
Weena?
Morlocks, you never come back.
We must have our machine, my dear. You wait for us here.
No.
And so we went down, our heels ringing on the small metallic bars that were meant for creatures so much smaller than us. Down we climbed, down, ever in darkness. Down, it seemed, into the center of the earth, into the core of the world. How much longer?
Won't know until we reach bottom. Can't be much further. Do you hear that? Like machinery. We're almost there.
Thank heaven for that.
All right, fella, I'm on the bottom. Come along, just a few more steps. Now, give me your hand, fella. Good.
Yeah.
Good. We're here.
Yes, in the land of the Morlocks.
Do you have a match?
Yes, here.
Seems to be a large vaulted cavern at the end of this passage.
What do you suppose they'll do if they catch us?
I've no idea. Better take care not to be caught. Another match.
That throbbing noise.
Probably their ventilating system pumping the air down. There must be thousands upon thousands of these Morlocks living under the earth.
We haven't seen any yet, except for our friend who came down ahead of us. Why do you suppose they wanted our time machine?
I think they wanted us, not the machine.
And we've come to them.
We must. It's our only chance. Fowler, if that noise does come from air pumps...
Yeah?
Why is it so stuffy here, so oppressive?
Dudley. That smell.
Blood. Light another match.
Dudley. Look. Straight ahead. On the white metal table.
Set for a meal.
Yes. With a small haunch. Meat.
We know that the cattle are extinct.
Then, What do they feed on, these Morlocks?
Don't you know?
Yes, I know.
Oh, another match.
Yes, I hear. Oh, Dudley, I have no more. I've used our last match.
Oh. All right, we'll have to go back then. We know the secret now, anyway. These Morlocks living here, underground, are the masters of this age. And our friends up above, fatted cattle, fed by the Morlocks, clothed, supplied, and housed until the day when they're cut out of the herd and brought underground as food. This is the future you're looking at. This is what we men of the 20th century shall come to. Dudley! What is it? I felt hands. Cold hips. Take one of these levers. Yes. Use it as a weapon. Lash out. Against this wall, Fowler, here beside me. They're moving in. Fight them. Use the lever, man. Use the lever. Dudley, they're all around us. This way. Fowler, this way. Back this way.
We went back in that evil darkness, fighting every step as we went.
By my side.
Back to those projecting bars, kicking and clawing ourselves loose from their pallid, grasping hands. And climbing up again, up toward daylight and freedom, away from their stench and the eagerness of their icy hands. And they did not follow, for daylight was their enemy and their great fear. And we lived among the lush gardens of the little people like prisoners, like men without reprieve, like men who are dead, though they still walk the earth. For the time machine was locked away behind great brass doors, and we knew we could never force them open. Then one day, Weena told us of an old building, an ancient sagging structure that had survived through many ages and was filled with many curious objects.
A museum, that's what it must be, a museum, Fowler. Perhaps from some earlier time.
I'm in no mood to go looking at a museum.
Don't you see?
What?
Specimens hermetically sealed in museums. Perhaps there are things, weapons, machinery, something we can use.
Yes, of course. If we could find some dynamite or gunpowder or something.
We could blast those doors, we could get in.
Where is this place, Weena? This old building that no one ever goes near?
I take you. It's not far.
A chance, old man. A slim one, but a chance nonetheless.
All day we wandered through the great ruined halls. The building had been deserted, unused for perhaps a century. The childlike men of that time had long since ceased to care about anything but their own personal comforts. It was late afternoon and growing dark when we came upon the chemical section. We had found nothing useful to us until then, and now came the worst disappointment of all.
And it's dust. All of it. Been dust for centuries.
Another dead end. It's hopeless.
We were out of our heads to hope that nitrates would retain their form for 100,000 years.
We go now? There's nothing here.
Oh, wait just a moment. Something in this case.
Well, you can break it with your lever.
Stand back a little.
All right.
Box of matches. Hermetically sealed.
Now, wait, let me see. Well, they're perfect. But they're not even damp.
What shall we do with them? Burn down those brass doors?
Well, you'd better keep them. You can't tell.
Fowler.
What?
On the floor, you see them? Small, narrow footprints leading away into the darkness at the end of this gallery.
Dudley!
We'd better go.
Pick Ween up and carry her. We'll have to run for it.
Now, don't be frightened, my dear. It'll be all right.
Go on, run!
We came out of the gloom of that place into the deeper gloom of dusk. And suddenly we saw. We were trapped. All around us were the Morlocks. They were there by the thousand, surrounding us, and coming closer in a long, even line of deathly white, their eyes blinking in the half-light, their tiny mouths alive with appetite.
Fowler, the matches!
I have them.
Stiff like a fire. Here, please, here. Hurry, man, the forest is dry. Hurry, man. We'll have an inferno here in a minute. Our little friends don't like light or heat.
The fire leaped high to the heavens, and the countryside was ablaze. The Morlocks turned in fear, blinded by the glare. Some of them blundered into the middle of the raging flames, and the rest faded away like a fog. Dudley had left a narrow passageway for our retreat, and we fled down a long corridor of leaping flames and blistering heat. We fled to safety toward the community of the little people. As we ran, we passed the huge monument with its great bronze doors that were locked tight in our time machine. And suddenly, in the glare of the distant fires, we saw something that stopped us short.
They're open, Fowler! The doors are open!
No, not go in. Dudley, no.
It's a trap. They're there waiting for us inside.
Waiting or not, we're going in.
Dudley, it's suicide.
It'll take me 1 minute to screw the levers on again, then I touch them and we're away.
All right, I'll try to give you your 1
Good
minute.
boy.
No, go. Not leave me.
No, you, my dear, you hold tight around my neck. You're coming home with us.
All right, let's go. We're in. I'll look through the machine. They haven't harmed it.
I don't see them yet.
Come on now, quickly.
The doors, Dudley. They're closed.
Get in the seat. I'll be ready in a moment.
I waited for the hum that would signal our departure. And there in the darkness, the Morlocks were finally upon us. Cold, persistent fingers swarmed over my body, tugging at me, sucking me away from the machine. I held tight to Weena as a man holds fast to life, tried to kick them away with my feet. Hurry, Dudley, hurry!
I should get these levers quickly or we're done. One more turn and it's in. There, Fowler, we're away, we're gone.
Yes, we made it.
Are you all right?
I'm all right.
Good. And Weena?
Weena isn't with us.
What happened?
They tore her from my hands at the last minute. They got her. I tried to save her. I couldn't. I still have a piece of her tunic here in my fist. Little piece of her tunic, Dudley. Nothing else. And so we came home again, back into the very minute from which we had left. We were in Dudley's laboratory again, motionless, sitting on the ridiculous contraption which he has called a time machine. Was it all a dream? Did any of it happen? Could any of it happen? Oh, of course not. How stupid. Then what of this? What of this little piece of thin green silk I hold in my hand?
Escape is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald. Today we have brought you The Time Machine by H.G. Wells, adapted for radio by Irving Ravitch, and starring John Dehner as Fowler and Larry Dobkin as Dudley, with Georgia Ellis as Weena. The special music for Escape was arranged and played by Ivan Ditmar.
Tonight, we escape to the interior of China and a journey of terror down the Yangtze River from Chongqing to Shanghai, as John and Gwen Bagni tell it in their gripping story of a people in turmoil, The Shanghai Document.
The Yangtze River is a gray gash through the heart of China, the artery that pulsates day and night with displaced humanity. From Chongqing to Shanghai, it's 1,500 crooked miles through deep-gutted gorges. But for those of us who took the steamer downriver in those frantic months just after the war, it was a voyage dominated by fear and intrigue and danger. It started in the saloon of the 10 Golden Pieces over a glass of gin, in the company of the man whose face wore many racial strains, but no pride of ancestry and no hope for his descendants, and no name, as far as I could discover, other than the Eurasian.
The word re-echoes in the marketplace that you desperately seek transportation to Shanghai.
The word is correct. The word is also correct that I'm stranded.
One wonders if you lack money.
No. I lack influence.
One knows of a way to Shanghai.
What? You know of a way?
Have you the courage to attempt the Yangtze in a junk?
Well, at this point, I would consider doing it in a canoe.
One hears of a junk that is obtainable for a price.
Well, how much?
One can always make a deal.
Where is this junk? Can I see it?
It's on the opposite bank of the Kialing at the dock at Kiangpei.
Could I rent it or could I hire it?
You would have to buy it.
Buy it? Well, I couldn't navigate it myself.
I have thought of that. The owner would take you to Shanghai, where you would, in gratitude, return the junk to him as a gift.
Oh, I see. I buy it here and give it back to him in Shanghai. Ha. That's a cute wrinkle.
You do not favor the wrinkle?
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. If I can get out of Chongqing, I'm crazy about it. Come on, let's go.
One moment. The money. It must be in American dollar.
Oh, well, of course.
Then, as you say, okay, let's go.
We slogged through the slime of the gutters. The night was misty. The chill wind carried with it the stench of the river. It carried, too, the unforgettable stench of poverty and death. The Eurasian led me down the 1,000-stone steps to the waterfront where a sampan ferried us across to the suburb known as Kiangpei. There, at an ill-lit makeshift dock, the Eurasian talked to a wizened coolie while I inspected the junk.
Da Ding Haining?
Well, what's the matter? What's he saying?
He does not wish to take you.
Oh, well, you can tell him it's okay with me. Junk's a good name for this boat. It's exactly what it is. I wouldn't risk my life in it back in the Arkansas River.
Oh, wait. Where are you going?
Back across the river, Chongqing.
But you are anxious to get to Shanghai.
Not that anxious.
But what about my commission?
Look, I didn't buy the boat, did I?
I've gone to a good deal of trouble for you tonight. You have money?
Look, I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Oh, no.
Huh?
You don't leave me like
Hey,
this.
wait a minute.
Lie still.
Huh?
I said lie still.
Who are you? Where is that? Oh, my back. He broke my back.
Your back's not broken. Take your shirt off.
Huh?
I'm a doctor.
Oh, how did I get here?
A dirty man in a white suit brought you.
Yeah, the Eurasian.
He said he found you in the street.
He did, huh? Why, Hey, wait a minute. My money. My money is gone.
Turn over on your stomach.
No, wait a minute.
Lie face down, please.
Huh?
Now, where does your back hurt?
All over.
Here?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about here?
No.
Well, it's nothing, just a pulled ligament.
Oh.
Sprain. I'll get my bag and tape it for you.
You're an American, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Kansas.
No kidding. So am I. Wichita.
What happened to you tonight? Saloon brawl?
No. I guess I was just a little too anxious to get to Shanghai. I was even considering a leaky junk down the Yangtze.
Why do you want to go to Shanghai?
I'm a correspondent. That's where the big story is today.
Well, if you want to go, why don't you take the river steamer?
Oh, that's funny. I've only been trying for months to get a ticket on the thing.
Lie still, please. Now inhale.
All right.
Exhale. Hold it.
All right.
I want this adhesive to be good and tight.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking the boat to Shanghai tomorrow.
You are?
Don't talk, please.
All right.
I didn't have any trouble getting a ticket.
Yeah, but...
Hold still, please.
Mm-hmm.
This tape isn't tight. It won't do you any good. Got to have connections in China today. I was lucky. I've been out here 6 years. I know a lot of people. There. Is that too tight?
Well, it's tight.
And that's the way you want it.
Yeah, well, feels a lot better.
That'll do the trick, though. You'll have to keep it on at least a week.
Yeah. Well, how much do I owe you, Doc?
Oh. Make it a pack of cigarettes.
Ow, that's pretty high. Matter of fact, I haven't got quite a full pack, but well, you can have it. Here.
Thanks.
What do they call you back in Kansas?
Well, in Kansas, they call me Jane Roma. In China, I'm known as Girl Doctor. You know, I was just thinking. If you're really serious about wanting to go to Shanghai,
Serious?
I can get you a ticket on the downriver boat tomorrow.
It's almost impossible to get a ticket. How?
Does it matter how I get it? As long as I get it?
Lady, if you can get me out of Chungking, nothing matters. I'll pay you back in Shanghai.
What's your name?
Tony Dehner.
Well, Tony Dehner, there'll be a ticket waiting for you at the steamship office tomorrow morning and a little money for traveling expenses.
What? I can't believe it. What are you looking at me so funny for?
You're amazing.
Why?
You're the first man I've ever met who didn't comment on my being both a woman and a doctor.
Oh, well, now, don't get me wrong, girl doctor. The combination fascinates me, but what I like most is your ability to pull a steamer ticket out of the hat.
Oh, I have many talents.
Well, let's kick him around.
No. You go to your room and rest. Take care of that back.
Okay, you're the doctor.
But I can tell you this.
What?
I'm glad you're going to Shanghai with me.
The boat was a squat, ugly, gray thing, as dirty as the river she sat in. Already her decks were crawling with discarded bits of humanity, some asleep, some curled around their meager possessions. But in one way, they were all alike. On their faces was the great patience that is so often worn by the have-nots of this world. At the head of the gangplank, a beefy-looking white man was herding us aboard.
Get these people on. Now, where's your ticket? Ticky. Yeah, okay, move along. Okay, you next. Ticket?
Yeah, just a minute. I got it here someplace.
Hurry up, get it out. I got a schedule to keep. Come on.
Can't you see my hands are full?
2 suitcases. Nobody needs 2 suitcases. Leave one of them behind.
But I need them both.
I said leave one of them behind.
My books are in there.
Then leave the other one. I don't care.
Look, there's nothing on the ticket that says how much you can carry. Who are you to be pushing me around?
I'm skipper of the scow. Radigan, that's the name. Keep it in mind.
It's just a suitcase.
Listen, I'm on this river to make money. If I can pick up one paying fare in place of your precious suitcase, I'm for it, see? You got your choice, mister. Either put one suitcase off or I put you off.
Gee, you got a crummy racket.
So I'm a crummy guy. Well, which is it? I'm in a hurry.
Okay. This one.
That's better. Now let's see your ticket. And your passport.
All right, here.
Yeah. Anthony Dehner, American. Okay, move along. If this river wasn't so lousy loaded up with foreigners who don't have any business being here, maybe we could move some Chinese.
And that was my introduction to Captain Radigan, skipper of the scow, as obnoxious a personality as I've run into. He considered every Occidental a foreigner except himself. Well, I picked my way across the littered deck, climbing over soldiers and whining children. I was one of the lucky passengers. Mine was a first-class ticket, entitling me to a stateroom, or should I say, to half a stateroom. And I was on my way to it when the Chinese officer stopped me.
See your papers, please.
Well, look, I just showed my papers to the captain.
See your papers, your passport, everything.
What is this? Everybody wants to look at my papers. Who are you, anyway?
I am Lieutenant Chen. Will you show me your papers, or shall we create unfortunate incident for you?
Oh, for Pete's sake. All right, here you are.
That is better. It says here your name is Anthony Dehner. You are American citizen. Your occupation is correspondent.
Yeah, look, I know what it says. You don't have to read it to me.
Papers are in order.
Well, I could have told you that.
The matter is closed. Paper in order. You may proceed to your stateroom.
Thanks.
Hello there.
Hello. Well, I guess we're roommates. I'm Dehner.
Oh, I am? I mean, you are? Oh, yeah, well, I'm Vickers. Come in. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks.
Yes. You know, I've just been wondering what sort of a chap I'd draw to bunk with.
Oh?
Of course, I don't mind, you understand, when I'm out in the field, a missionary gets conditioned, if you know what I mean. I mean conditioned, what? Yeah, stable,
Yeah.
a bit of straw, bare ground. But indoors, I remember I'm an Englishman. I like comfort, you know, pleasant company.
Well, I hope you like cockroaches because they've got us outnumbered.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, well, cockroaches and I are old friends. I say, look here. Why don't you stow your gear and come up on deck? You know, it's quite something to see when Ratigan starts his old steamer downriver. You would think it was the Queen Mary. You would really. All the ceremony he puts into it.
I wouldn't watch Ratigan launch a rocket to the moon.
Well, that's not likely, you know. I mean, what happened? The old sea dog get your back up or
Oh,
something?
well, he made me leave a suitcase behind. It was full of books I've been years collecting.
Well, that sounds like him. Are you coming?
No, you go ahead, Vickers. I'll see you later.
Yeah, right, you are.
As I unpacked what I needed for the trip, I could feel the old boat gather all her strength together and move, groaning into the deep water channel, and I forgot about my lost books. I was on the Yangtze, on my way at last to Shanghai, on my way to the big story, and I felt a curious kind of thrill. I was part of China on the move. The cabin was close and stuffy. I went up on deck to get some air. I was kind of hoping to run into Girl Doctor. Then I saw her, standing at the prow of the boat, talking animatedly with my roommate, the missionary.
Ah, there you are, Dehner. Glad you came up. Come on over and meet a charming fellow passenger. Dr. Roma, may I present Mr. Dehner?
How do you do? Dana, did you say? It's an odd name. Have you been in China long?
Well, wait a minute.
He's an American, you know. One of your countrymen, Dr. Roma.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kansas.
Oh, is that so?
I say, we're lucky, aren't we, Dana? Having such a beautiful doctor aboard, huh? It might make it worth a man's while to be ill or something, eh?
Well, I hope that won't happen. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have some unpacking to do. Awfully nice to have met you, Mr.
Dehner.
Oh, yes. I'll see you later, Mr. Vickers.
She smiled at me like you smile at a stranger you've just met. There was no sign at all of recognition. And from then on, she avoided me. Well, at first, it made me a little sore. My male ego was wounded, I guess. I thought she'd gotten me a ticket because she wanted to see me again. Now I wondered, why had she gotten it? There was something wrong with this whole business. We were scheduled to tie up at Yichang overnight, and I was looking forward to breaking up the trip by night ashore. I was on my way to my stateroom to get my bag. Girl Doctor. Dr. Roma, it's Tony Dehner. What's wrong?
Go away!
No, I'm coming in.
Please.
What's the matter? What's happened?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing happened.
You always wear your hair mussed like that, your blouse ripped, and your luggage. That's the way you like it, I suppose. Dumped, sprawled all over the room.
It's none of your affair, Tony. Keep out of it.
Look, you're going to tell me what's going on
Please,
anyway?
keep out of it.
No, you're scared. You need help.
Just get out and leave me alone.
All right, maybe Captain Radigan knows the answer.
No, wait a minute, Tony.
What?
All right. I came into my stateroom. It was dark, but I could tell there was somebody in here. Then he grabbed me. I tried to fight away from him. I screamed, but he got out. I turned on the light.
Who was it?
I don't know. A soldier, I think. A Chinese soldier.
Well, what was he looking for? What are you carrying? The crown jewels?
It isn't funny, Tony. They're after the Shanghai document. But they didn't get it, not this time.
The Shanghai document? What's that?
Just a piece of paper. But it might hold the destiny of China.
Oh, in what way?
A new leader has been found in the west of China, but only a few trusted people know his identity. A man who very possibly could unite his people, lead them out of war. I don't have to tell you what that means to China, Tony. The document contains his name, his plan of action, and his written acceptance of the great responsibility, and it must get into the right hands in Shanghai.
And if it doesn't?
A lot of heads will fall. And China will have lost a chance for peace.
And you're the messenger, huh? Why?
I'm a sympathizer. I was chosen because I'm an American. We thought they wouldn't suspect an American.
Well, Radigan's an American. I'm an American. Why pick on... Oh, hey, wait a minute. And that's the reason you got my ticket for me. That's why you've been giving me the wide berth. You were using me as a decoy in case they got wise.
I'm sorry, Tony. But you did want to get to Shanghai.
Yeah, but with one stipulation. I'd like to get there alive.
Attention, motorist. Petroleum chemists have discovered new super-octane gasoline components of great importance to you. And one of the highest octane components ever discovered is xylene. Now listen to this. Today, every gallon of Richfield gasoline contains xylene. Xylene helps give Richfield gasoline that high anti-knock performance, that eager response in traffic, that smooth, surging power that turns mountains into molehills. What's more, there's a Richfield gasoline to fit the power requirements of your motor. Select Richfield Ethyl for best results in the highest compression motors, or Richfield High Octane at regular price for the average motor. Each Richfield brand is tops in its class. Don't waste gasoline, don't waste money. Let the Richfield dealer help you select the right Richfield gasoline for your car. And remember, every gallon of Richfield gasoline contains xylene, one of the highest octane components ever discovered. And now, we return you to Escape.
I didn't see Girl Doctor as the boat tied up at Yichang, but I worried about her plenty. Girl has no business carrying a thing as explosive as the Shanghai document. Now that she dragged me into it to confuse whoever was after it, I was a little jumpy myself.
Mr. Dehner?
Huh? Oh, Lieutenant Chen.
You are planning to go ashore.
Yeah, that was my plan. Why?
Very dangerous for American to be alone in China nowadays. Many bandits, thieves.
Yeah, I know, but I hope it won't throw Army regulations in an uproar if I go ashore anyway.
Sorry, your business. Merely suggestion.
Yeah, well, thanks. See you around, Chen.
Hey, Dehner! Dehner! Now, where do you think you're going?
Sure, do you mind?
Matter of fact, I do. When I start out with a boatload of people, I like to deliver them. I don't like no trouble, and your going ashore is just asking for it.
You trying to tell me I can't go ashore, Captain Radigan?
Look, sweetheart, the only thing I'm trying to tell you is watch your step.
So you've told me. I've been warned. Now I'd like to get going.
Okay, bilgehead. It's your neck.
Oh, I say Dehner!
Oh,
Dehner!
Here we go again.
Are you going ashore?
And what's your objection, Vickers?
Objection?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it, old boy. I was going ashore myself, and I thought we might make a party of it. You know I speak the dialect, and I thought it might come in handy.
Well, I thought for a minute...
You thought what?
Oh, never mind. Come on.
You know, the last time I was in Yichang, there was a very nice hotel. Let's try it. That is, of course, if it hasn't been bombed. What? Oh, the proprietor, Chinese, very good friend of mine, serves the
Vickers, wait a minute. What's that?
What's what? Where?
There at the foot of the gangplank, a whole platoon of soldiers.
Oh, they're probably on the lookout for a deserter.
Yeah. Well, come on, let's get off the boat.
Yeah. Oh, I say, look, they're going to stop us.
Your passport, please.
Certainly. Right here.
Oh, passport in order. Proceed.
Oh, thanks awfully.
And I see your passport?
Look, I've been checked and double-checked.
You better do as he says, old boy.
Yeah, okay. Here.
It's messy, this red tape. Necessary, I suppose, but sometimes I do think they overdo it.
Oh, your passport not in order.
Not in order?
No, please, better you come with me.
Well, wait a minute. Where to? What for?
Impossible. Proceed to Shanghai. Papers not clarified.
What are you talking about?
But I say, who can't take him off the boat like this?
Oh, you know. Passport not in order. Complete.
He took me to a command car, which drove me to field headquarters on the hills above Yichang. No matter what I said to him, no matter how much I argued, all I got out of him was passport not in order. Well, they gave me a place to sleep and something to eat and a couple of guards to watch me. The river steamer was scheduled to leave Yichang at dawn. I was hoping they'd release me by then, but the dawn slipped in and the steamer slipped out. And I heard it in the distance, the whistle. I felt sunk. How was I to explain to these guys that I was just a decoy? They'd picked off the wrong American, that the thing they wanted, the Shanghai document, was on its way down the Yangtze. And I heard them coming down the hall. I didn't know what I was in for, but I braced myself. At least I'd go down fighting.
Mr. Dehner.
Yeah?
Passport is in order. Can go now.
Go? Now you tell me. Look, did you hear that whistle? The steamer's gone. How do I get to Shanghai now? Swim?
1,000 apologies for ignorant mistake. American passport, very confusing.
Yeah, sure, but what do I do now?
Please come with me. I've made arrangements.
I was apologized to in several dialects. Then I got back into the command car and was driven down past the river landing to a secluded spot where a sampan tended by 2 coolies was waiting. I was politely but forcibly put aboard. I turned around to protest, but it was too late. The coolies had pulled the sampan away from shore into the center of the river, and back on shore, the Chinese officer was smiling broadly. Well, anyway, I was on my way to Shanghai again. And I sat back to smoke a cigarette, but I was out of matches, and I nudged the coolie in front of me. Hey, you, catch him, matchy, you know?
Certainly, Mr. Dehner.
Huh?
Here you are. May I light it for you?
Lieutenant Chen, what are you doing on this sampan?
I also have missed the boat.
Yeah, but well, why the coolie outfit?
It's not safe for lone soldier to travel by himself. I am, as you Americans say, coming along for the ride.
You know what I think, Chen? I think I'm the one that's being taken for a ride. I couldn't understand it. If they had thought I had the document, why hadn't they searched me? Why'd they let me go? Why was Chen on my tail? I decided to find out just how much of a watchdog Chen was. We'd been on the river all day, and it was just getting dark when we pulled up at a rickety bamboo landing. Chen was singing as he helped the coolie repair a sail. They weren't paying any attention to me. I crawled silently off the boat onto the dock.
Mr. Dehner, I should regret to have to kill you before we reach Shanghai. Come back in boat, please.
Well, you can't blame a guy for trying.
If you are wise, you will not try again.
We passed Nanking, turned off the Yangtze into the Yunho Canal. Chen never seemed to sleep. He watched me constantly. But as he and the other coolie maneuvered the sampan into Suchow Creek on the Shanghai waterfront, I realized that I had one final chance. It was dusk. The creek was filled with a floating city, thousands of sampans, each with their family washings flying aloft, their babies, their suppers cooking. They were on either side of us, within scraping distance. And suddenly I leaped across the one on the left.
Mr. Dehner, stop!
He wouldn't dare shoot in such a crowded place. He couldn't hope to hit me, but he jumped across, and I was already on the next sampan, and jumping from sampan to sampan, I zigzagged my way to the bank and lunged into the crowded, filthy waterfront of Shanghai. I looked back once. I couldn't see Lieutenant Chen anywhere. I'd lost him. I took a deep breath. I felt free, safe from the crowd. And then I saw him. Not 10 feet away, Captain Radigan, and with him 2 huge Mongolians.
Dehner! Don't try to get away, Dehner! Come back!
I moved fast, elbowing my way through the matted humanity, and ran down the bund like the devil himself was after me. And I finally stopped, out of breath in a cluttered back alley. It was dark. Radigan was no place to be seen. Neither were the Mongolians. I was quite alone. Well, I had one friend in Shanghai, Vickers, the missionary. He'd given me his address. I found a rickshaw driver who knew where it was, and he took me there. It was one of those old Chinese dwellings with a high wall around it. I knocked at the gate, but nobody answered. And I opened the gate, walked into the garden.
Well, it's about time you showed up, Dehner.
Radigan.
We've been waiting a long time for you.
Radigan, what are you... It took me a minute to recognize the smell of the cloth on my face. Chloroform.
How do you feel?
Huh? Oh, you again.
Don't try to get up, and don't yell. This is a hospital. You'll disturb the other patients.
A hospital? Why is it every time I come to, you're there? What do? Follow your patients around?
I'm sorry, Tony.
Yeah, sure.
You were going to see Vickers. We couldn't let you do that. Captain Radigan.
Yeah, Doctor.
Give me a hand, will you?
Oh, no. Get away from me. Hey, what are you going to...
Now, come on, Dehner. Up, sit,
wait.
on your stomach.
Hey, let me go.
Just relax, Tony. It's time for your bandage to come off.
No!
Thanks a lot, Tony Dehner.
That adhesive tape, you want to pull the skin off my back? What do you think I... What did you say?
I said thanks a lot. For carrying the Shanghai document through safely.
The document?
Mm-hmm. It was on your back under the adhesive tape. I put it there back in Chongqing.
You did? Then Radigan?
Radigan and Lieutenant Chen and the soldiers who took you off the boat were all working under orders, protecting you.
Yeah, well, I ran away from them. I thought that they were...
You sure gave us a bum time.
Well, what do you want me to do? Apologize?
Oh, Tony, please. We treated you badly, I know, but we couldn't let you go to Vickers.
Vickers, the missionary?
Anyone can wear his collar backwards. Vickers was the one who was after the document. We had to get you off the boat and away from him before he discovered that I didn't have it.
Oh, Vickers, huh?
Mm-hmm. Tony,
Huh?
I hope you know you've done a great thing for China.
Yeah. Well, now that I've done so much for China, suppose you do something for me.
Well, anything.
Okay. Get dressed up. Let's go out in the town and have dinner.
Oh, Tony, we'd love it. We can meet you in an hour.
We?
My husband and I. Jerry.
Your husband?
You'll love him, Tony. He's a wonderful guy. He's from Kansas, too.
Escape is produced and directed by William N. Robeson and has tonight presented Shanghai Document by John and Gwen Bagney. Featured in the cast were John Dehner as Tony, Joan Banks as Dr. Jane Roma. Ben Wright as Vickers and the Eurasian. Bill Conrad as Rattigan. Benson Fong as Lieutenant Chen. Charles Lung as the officer. And Paul Frees as the voice of Escape.
Tired of the everyday grind? Ever dream of a life of romantic adventure? Want to get away from it all?
We offer you Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are hiding in the middle of a great forest, quiet as a shadow, while closing in on you, hunting you down like an animal, is a silent archer who will kill you with an arrow through the heart.
Listen now as Escape brings you Anthony Ellis's adaptation of the classic story, Robert of Huntingdon.
Hear ye. Let it be known by all present that a sum of 100 pounds is placed upon the head of the outlaw, Robert of Huntingdon. And that an additional 50 pounds is to be the reward for whomsoever shall maim, kill, or capture the following. The felons Little John, Will Scarlett, Will Stutley, Nick Much, the friar known as Tuck, Gamble Gold, Helena Dale, Arthur of Bland, David Doncaster, Gilbert of the White Hand.
That proclamation was by order of His Worship, the Sheriff of Nottingham, in whose house a meeting was taking place.
Robin Hood! Robin Hood! I'm sick of the sound of that name. Something's got to be done. It's gone too far. They shoot the king's deer in the king's forest. Why, they call it their forest. Nobody's safe anymore. Beggar, tinker, bishop, nobody. It's got to stop. Now, I want Sir Martin of Matlock to say a few words. He's offered his services in the name of the king and myself, Sir Martin.
My lords, gentlemen, seems quite obvious that your attempts to put a stop to this Robin Hood have been anything but successful. I've heard it said that more than once the sheriff himself has been tied backwards on an ass and sent trotting home.
Quiet. We know all about that, Sir Martin. Do you mind getting to the point?
All right. The point is that in Sherwood Forest there's a band of about 140 who fancy themselves the savior of the poor and the scourge of the rich. Well, that's an old story, and one I'm sure we've come to know pretty well. Any excuse for outlawry. Well, I propose to stop them. To gather a force of men, 100 mounted, 100 archers, and 100 foot soldiers, go into that forest and exterminate Robin Hood with the others once and for all.
Wait. We can't afford to give you such an army without some kind of plan. And besides, most of our best men lie buried there as it is. What you're proposing has been tried. It's nothing new. You don't know these outlaws as we do.
I have a plan, Your Worship.
Oh?
I'll go into the forest alone.
Alone?
These outlaws don't know me, and I think because of that, I'll be able to succeed.
How?
Let's say I pretend to be a wronged yeoman. They take me in to become one of the band. I find out their weakness, their sentry posts, everything I can to help us when the time comes for attack.
It's very dangerous, you know. We won't be able to help you if they don't believe your story.
Well, it's my life, Your Worship. I can do what I want with it. If I fail, you've lost nothing. If I succeed.
All right.
And the rest of you? Good. Give me a week. I'll get word to you when the time comes. My signal for the attack will be a blast on this horn. And now, my lords and gentlemen, I'll disguise myself as a poor but honest yeoman, foully wronged by his worship, the Sheriff of Nottingham.
The sheriff had made an ally in Sir Martin of Matlock, and with him the hope that his worst enemy, Robin Hood, would at last be brought to justice. In Sherwood Forest, two men dressed in Lincoln green sat lazily beside a brook. One tall, handsome, his cap set carelessly at an angle on his head, shading the eyes from the sun. The other man, a giant, at least 7 feet, and an ell or more around the waist, chewing and sucking at the marrow of an entire oxen thigh bone.
I'm going to have to speak to Nick Much about the quality of the sheriff's beef, Robin.
Little John. You know, I've been thinking.
Oh, sir.
When was the last time the Sheriff of Nottingham came to Sherwood?
I remember. It was when Nick Much and I brought him. Remember we tied him backwards?
Yes, I remember. It's more than a year ago, wasn't it? Doesn't it seem strange to you?
Strange?
Yes.
Well, no, dull, maybe. Life isn't the same without that nasty little toad to worry.
Robin, you've got an idea.
We go to Nottingham, huh? We could do it again. 20 men storm his house.
No, I wasn't thinking of that. But I have a feeling that something is wrong. He's up to something. I can feel it. The forest has been too quiet, and we haven't been bothered for a long time.
I notice you're growing the beginning of a pot.
Don't talk to me about pots, you great cumbersome hog. Little John. Wait a minute.
What?
Listen.
To what?
Someone's coming. Pick up your bow. Give me cover from the trees over there. I'll wait here. See who it is.
Be careful, Robin.
Morning, stranger.
Well, good morning to you, my friend.
I seem to have lost my way. Can you tell me where I am?
Certainly. This is Sherwood Forest. Where are you going?
Nowhere. Anywhere.
Where do you come from?
Nottingham.
Huh?
Yes, today, thanks to the sheriff, I lost my cottage, my cow, my land, everything.
Oh? I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I know the forest well enough. If you like, I'll guide you through it.
Thanks. But I'm looking for a man here, a particular man.
Oh?
Robin Hood. Possibly you know him. He's called an outlaw by some, but there are others who swear by him.
Yes, I know. Do you mind if I ask you why you want to find him?
Well, they say he's always in need of good yeomen. Now that I'm a felon in the eyes of the king, I've nothing much to live for, unless he takes me into his company.
Well, what is this nasty thing that you did?
It was one of the king's deer. I shot it and was seen by a forester.
Yeah.
I escaped with my life, my longbow, and these arrows.
Uh-huh. Now, from the look of your eye, I'd say you have the making of an archer. Little John?
Yes?
What's your name, my friend?
Martin Greenleaf.
This little fellow coming here is called Little John. Martin Greenleaf wants to join the band of Sherwood Forest.
I heard the talk. What are you called?
Robin Hood.
Well, I wasn't sure.
Take him to David Doncaster, Little John. Have him measured for a suit of green. And then tell Nick Much to prepare some food for him. Welcome to Sherwood, Martin Greenleaf. I think you can see to it that you'll never have regrets for today.
So, according to his plan, Sir Martin of Matlock was received with all the hospitality and kindness the outlaws could give. Only one looked on the newcomer with a jaundiced eye, Little John. Friar Tuck came upon the giant, sullenly whittling a shaving of wood.
And what's the matter with you, little man, huh? Yeah. Face like that is enough to make a bee's nectar sour. Now, why aren't you at table feasting with that newcomer, Martin?
Fat friar.
Huh?
Go away. I didn't ask for your company.
Oh, save us all. I don't like yours either. That's no answer to my question.
All right, then. I don't like him. This Martin Greenleaf.
Oh?
I don't know why. Robin's too easy. He's a mark for a sad story. This fellow's told one, that's all.
And if the story is true?
If. I'd rather have found that out before inviting him to join us.
You are a suspicious chap.
Yeah, well, go on back and stuff yourself. I didn't ask you here.
Where are you going, Charles?
To look for better company.
But Little John had another idea. He dressed himself in the disguise of a tailor, and carrying nothing but a stave and a dagger, he made his way to Nottingham, where he hoped to find out what he could about Martin Greenleaf. But luck wasn't with him, because he'd gone less than a mile beyond the forest when he was seen by 6 of the sheriff's henchmen. And because of his great height, they recognized him.
I tell you it is. It's Little John. I've seen him before when we fought the outlaws in the forest. Take him!
Yeah! No, you
But the odds were too great, and finally Little John was taken prisoner into Nottingham, where he was locked in prison to await the sheriff's displeasure. It was Will Scarlet who heard the news from a friendly tinker and carried it to the outlaws.
Robin! Quiet, all of you, quiet!
Quiet! What's the matter, Will?
Little John.
Well, what about Little John?
The sheriff's men took him by surprise. They've got him now, in Nottingham.
Where? When? He was here a little while ago.
That's all I can tell you. On the Nottingham Road, the tinker swears it was Little John.
All right, we'll go to Nottingham then.
And I'll tell you for one, I'll pick out the sheriff's heart and throw it to the dogs when we come back.
We will return to Escape and tonight's story, Robert of Huntington, in just a moment. For stirring chorus singing, lend your ears to the Choral Ears every Sunday night on most of these same CBS radio stations. Yes, later tonight, enjoy the Choral Ears. And now, back to Escape.
When Sir Martin of Matlock heard the news, he smiled. He hadn't expected things to work so well, so quickly. But also the suddenness of the event had taken him by surprise, and he had to find a way to warn the sheriff of Robin Hood's decision. Because every available man would be needed in the attempt to free Little John, Robin gave the spy a sword and arrows, and the men in Lincoln Green began the march through Sherwood to Nottingham. They stopped at the edge of the forest, and Robin called a council meeting.
We'll wait until it gets dark.
Oh, but every hour, Robin, every minute we wait, Little John has less of a chance.
Chance? What chance do you think we'd have if we attacked in daylight?
That's it, Will. That's why we've got to wait.
Well, I say curse the daylight and curse the sacrifice. While we're talking, Little John may be dying.
There's no other choice, Nick. Darkness is only about 2 hours away. With it, we'll have an element of surprise. Without that, we're finished. And so is Little John.
I don't know.
Can I say something, Robin?
What? Oh, Martin Greenleaf, of course.
Wouldn't I be the least likely to be recognized among you? I mean, supposing I went to the prison alone, say as a pasty maker, selling my wares to the guards.
You've got a lot of courage, Martin, but
what?
You know, it may be the thing.
Oh, Robin,
If you were to make yourself known to the guards, they might not suspect. When they're relieved of duty and replaced by others for the night, that might be our chance. While they're changing, if you could give us the signal to attack.
3 blasts on my horn.
Yes, 3.
Oh, right.
If you are suspected, though, you know what it will mean.
I'll take that chance. You took one with me, didn't you, Robin?
All right, Martin. Do we all agree on it?
All agree.
You better leave your sword and bow with us. We'll have them for you ready when the time comes. And good luck, Martin.
You naughty, naughty man. You're going to pay for all these years, you know. I've waited a long time for this. Perhaps you thought I'd forgotten your treatment of me the last time I was forced to go with you into the forest.
Thank you, honest.
Silence! You'll pay. You're going to pay. Slowly. Slowly.
Having to listen to you is payment enough, you nasty little maggot.
Silence! You wait. You won't be laughing long. First, there's a little matter of your master, Robin Hood. I've got a surprise for him, don't you worry. Couldn't be better. We won't have to bring him out of hiding. He'll come to us. I know if he'll try to do something heroic.
Then I was right.
Oh, yes, you were right. They'll come. When they do, we'll be ready. 300 men, you ugly pig. Waiting for them now, inside the gates of the town. What have you got to say about that? My little John.
And at the edge of the forest, Robin and his men were also waiting. Each man silent with his own thoughts, and then the sun was gone from the sky. Robin stood a little apart, sharpening the blade of his dagger.
Hey, Robin, yes? Oh, Fry, sir. Robin, I've been thinking. Yes, there was something little John spoke to me about before he left us. Well, what was it? This Martin Greenleaf. Oh? Well, go on. Well, now, John didn't seem to know why, but he said he didn't like the man didn't trust him. Now, that's strange for little John. Yeah. At first, I wondered about it. Then I forgot, and now I'm beginning to wonder again. Now, Martin's willingness to do what he's done. You know, it is possible that he is one of the sheriff's. No, I can't believe that. No. You've always been a good man, Robin. That's one of the reasons I joined you. I don't say I blame you if you thought his story was true. But at the same time, if it wasn't. If he was lying, then little John's capture is on my head. Yes. Why would he be so anxious to risk his life? He doesn't know little John. Why should he care that much? I should have spoken of this before. Yeah, and before I might not have listened, which is even more foolishness. Call the men together, Fry. We've got to decide about this.
And they decided. There was no proof of Martin Greenleaf's wrongdoing, but the thought was planted and grew until the fears were shared by all of them. And then Robin made his plan. Meanwhile, at the sheriff's house, for there the lawmaker had gone to eat the evening meal, a servant entered, and close behind was Sir Martin of Matlock.
Sir Martin, you've got word.
Better than that. I've got their plan of attack.
You mean they're coming now?
At nightfall.
Better and better. We're ready. I never dreamed of such quick results.
When the guards are changed in the prison court tonight, that's the signal for attack. I'm to blow 3 times on my horn.
Good. The archers will be posted on the prison wall.
Yes, and pikesmen inside the gates. And once the outlaws are in...
Those that haven't been killed by the arrows...
The horsemen can finish.
We've got him. We've got him.
But that wasn't the first time the sheriff had said these very same words, only to see his triumph melt away through his fingers. A little while later, as the last gleam of sunset was turning from gold to rust and clouds were tinged with purple, a ragged and forlorn figure was seen mingling with the soldiers inside the prison gates.
May heaven bless you, kind gentlemen.
And slowly the beggar made his way closer and closer to the prison door. Then he was inside and sidling up to the guard who was watching the preparations in the court.
Go on, get out of here. I haven't got anything for you. Get out.
Kind sir, all I ask is that you...
Don't make a sound or I'll cut your head off, and I mean it. Back. Get away from the door. All right, quickly. Take me to the dungeon where you're holding Little John. And remember one sound and you're going to be a very dead man. Faster. Faster.
Yes.
The key. Little John. Little John.
That's you, Robin.
Yes.
Oh, man, this time I was certain I'd be dancing at the end of a rope.
Not yet, little man. Guard the key to the chains. Hurry.
Yes.
We've got to get out before the prison gates are closed. There's only a minute. Pretty small odds. We've got to run like hares.
Oh, give me a second to exercise. Oh, this is the dog who hit me while I was chained. Here, 1 second, Robin.
No.
Tilt your head, Master Foul Fellow. Drop more. There. Now, Robin, I'm ready.
Robin and Little John made their way back to the great prison door, and outside into the court where the light of day was almost gone. 2 soldiers were approaching the gate to close it, and in the center of the square stood Sir Martin of Matlock, bugle in his hand. Astride away, looking pleased, the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Walk as quickly as you can and as close to the walls as possible. Come on.
Oh, I give my lot for my sword or even my stave now. Oh, you shouldn't have come, Robin.
When I say the word, run.
Here, look. We're starting to change the guard at the gates. All I hope is when Martin Greenleaf gives the signal to blow the brains right out of his head. Now, run!
A prisoner!
Robin! We'll try for the other side of town, then across the Lee, and then we'll... Little John, you're hurt. No, I'm all right. Hip prick in the shoulder. Where are the others? You'll see.
And because of the confusion, Robin and Little John escaped from Nottingham. And as he'd planned, Robin led the way across the Lee to a long hedgerow some 200 rods from the town walls. And there they stopped because behind the brush was Robin's entire force. And each man had an arrow ready in his bow.
Give me a sword, one of you, and a bow.
Here, Little John. I had not much hope of giving them to you, but I brought them along in prayerful faith.
Fat old devil, thanks.
Quiet. Quiet now, men. They'll be coming out of the town in a moment. Be ready at the signal.
And moments later, they saw the mounted soldiers ride out. And behind them had run the pikesmen and archers, fanning out in a solid line. The lights of Nottingham were behind them, and where the men of the forest were hidden in darkness, such was not the case with the sheriff's men. The sound of hooves fell upon the stillness, and behind the hedgerow, every string pulled taut, every long bow bent. The slaughter was terrible. Almost every horseman had been unseated at the first volley, and the deadly cloud of arrows continued to fall steadily amongst the sheriff's army. And when finally, in complete defeat, the archers and pikesmen were falling back, the men in green with drawn swords charged and completed the rout. It was Robin who came upon Sir Martin of Matlock.
This, Sir Martin, is for your treachery. This is for Little John. And this is for me.
And with a tremendous stroke, Robin cut him down. The battle lasted only a few moments longer, and then on a signal from Robin, the men of Sherwood melted back into the darkness and the forest, leaving the field strewn with the sheriff's dead and hurt soldiers. Little John's wounded shoulder was attended to by Friar Tuck, as were the wounds of the others. And then a great merrymaking began, which lasted far into the night. As for the sheriff of Nottingham, at the first sound of battle, he ran into his house, and locking the door behind him, stood quivering in fear until the news of defeat was brought to him. And then his great courage returned, and he swore a mighty oath that someday he'd go again into Sherwood, and by his own hand bring Robert of Huntingdon to justice.
Under the direction of Norman MacDonald, Escape has brought you Robert of Huntingdon, adapted by Anthony Ellis, starring William Conrad as Robin Hood. Featured in the cast were Lawrence Dobkin, Edgar Barrier, and Herb Ellis, with Jack Crucian, Vic Perrin, John Stevenson, Harry Bartell, and Peter Leeds. Editorial supervision is by John Meston, and the special music for Escape is composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Next week.
You are standing at the entrance of a walled Arab town, while behind you, coming slowly through the night, are the shuffling footsteps of a blind beggar who will lead you into a harrowing world of darkness and terror.
If you don't know the difference between a hawk and a horse, that, as the pundits say, is a horse on you. And if you don't know the difference between CBS Radio's Bob Hawke and any ordinary quizmaster, then you'd better take steps. Yes, take steps right to your radio Monday nights and enjoy the quips, the quiz, the merriment of the Bob Hawke Show on most of these same CBS radio stations. This is Roy Rowan speaking. And remember, America now listens to 105 million radio sets and listens most to the CBS Radio Network.